Tommy Heinsohn used to tell me often when he talked about Russell's game is, Russ may have 2 or 3 blocks in one possession, or to start the fast break, Russ knew where to tap the ball.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So there you go. Now that would start the legendary Celtics fast break. So he was a defensive mastermind in that. And I always look, when I saw the tapes, I mean, look, what did I know? I was born in 64. I just feel that Bill Russell could have scored more points if he wanted to, but he knew that wasn't the way to win the game.
You are correct. Now let's back up. There were occasional block shots before Bill Russell. Bill Russell made it an art form. Bill Russell showed the world what the effect of block shots could be. And unlike many of the modern youngsters who are showing off and knocking it into the 10th row and therefore giving another possession to the team that he has just blocked, Bill Russell often, I won't say every time because that's not true, but more often than not, and more often than anybody today would even consider, kept the ball in play after blocking it. Tom Heinsohn used to tell me, he called it, he would pop it somehow, and then retrieve it and then start the fast break.
Right.
That was the goal. His goal was not to show off that I can block a shot. It was to turn it into a positive for the team, period. And he did that. And now this is where, the Twitter world goes crazy. The youngsters go crazy. They don't know. They don't get it. I know they don't, and I understand they can't. I never saw Bill Russell. They don't understand. There's nobody today with that facility, with that mentality and facility combined. Nobody. So you may have a block shot. 90% of block shots today went up out of bounds, period. And that may or may not help the possession because the team may get the ball back and score anyway. Bill Russell did not do that as a rule. He tried to keep the ball in play. He was intelligent enough, agile enough, athletically incredibly advanced enough to manipulate that block shot into a positive asset for the fast break and not just a thing to knock out of bounds to show you, oh, boy, I blocked the shot. I know what I just said is going to be rejected by so many because they don't get it. You know why? Because he was sui generis. There's never been another Bill Russell. There have been a lot of wonderful big center. He was ahead of his time athletically, as he told me and others. He could he could kick the rim.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a quick jumper. There's 2 kinds of jumpers: gatherers, or quick taper offers. He was the ultimate the quick taper offer without gathering. Wilt was a gatherer. Was a quick taper offer, but didn't get that high, but he was a quick taper offer. Larry was a quick taper offer.
Right.
Wilt, among others, was not. Anyway, Russell was. And it was an extraordinary, ahead of his time athleticism. Bill Russell high jump 6'9" with no technique, in college. It's just, anyway.
But he was a genius in knowing the game. That's the thing. He was a genius when he really understood the game. He was a smart man.
My first year on the beat was 69-70, year after he and Sam Jones retired. The Celtics are floundering at 500 team middle of the season. And John Havlicek said to me, we miss him more in offense and defense, by the way. And they ran the offense around his passing.
Right.
They had a thing called the 6 play. Guess what? What was Bill Russell's number?
Oh, yeah.
Ask anybody who was there. The 6 play. And it had a variety of options. But it started because the ball went to Bill Russell. And he went from there. Now, you made an excellent point that I must amplify about how he could have scored. I urge you and anybody that I am proud to say that the Boston Globe, as we speak, has reprinted online the story that I was able to do with Bill Russell in 1999 on the occasion of that ceremony that you alluded to at the Boston Garden, where we finally got around to honoring Bill Russell properly. And I did the preview story sitting with Bill Russell at the Capitol Grill in Providence, Rhode Island for 3.5 hours, and him telling me every goddamn good story. And he gave me his A+ game. And what he was talking about was, I could have scored more. And I could have scored more and tried to score 20 points a game. That would have disrupted the flow and continuity of our offense.
No question.
And that wasn't my job. If I had to do that and with a lesser team, now he's acknowledging he was with a very good team and he was, and that was able to take care of those other matters. But if it came down to they got to throw the ball to Bill more often to score, he could have scored. He had an excellent hook shot.
Yes.
He had excellent inside moves, a little turnaround jumper, but he didn't have to do that. That wasn't his raison d'etre. That's why the most points he ever scored a season was 18. And I guess his career totals around 15, 16. But that wasn't his job. When people today they look at the numbers, they're going to look at the numbers, and I understand. That's why you need to be able to explain to them what the deal was, what the life was. But John said we miss him more in offensive defense.
Right.
That opened my eyes at the time. Let me tell you, So yes.
Well, I've always found it frustrating when people say that he was a defensive specialist, and they allude to the fact because he wasn't good on offense. That was not the case. I mean, I can watch a million black and whites. I don't have to watch a million black and whites. I can watch 2-3 highlights, and I know that this guy could have scored whenever he wanted to.
He was a 20 points a game scorer in
Easy. Yeah, I mean, but he could. It would have been. It wasn't even an issue. He could.
But it comes down to the fact that Bill Russell's object was winning the game.